at all. So these are some of the things happens in some cases. So this slide is very important. You can take snapshot. You can keep it. So this is very important for early career researcher, even those who are experienced and does not know how to write a structured way of writing abstract. But some publisher basically ask specifically. I think this one I took from Amaranth publisher, and some publisher basically ask you to write in a structured way. I think that is a good guideline. This will help you to write in a more structured way, more proper way, more balanced way, as I mentioned in the earlier slides. So there should have the paper also a guide to write the articles in energy science. This paper also will tell you when you write this abstract, introduction, and so on. Actually, there is a proper guideline. So in the background information in the component of abstract, so a few sentences as you can see here. So basically there are 2.5 sentences. So you can limit yourself. So two sentences or 2.5 sentences, maybe maximum 3 sentences. So then you put the objectives. So again here you may have 3 objectives, but write in 1 sentence here. Methodology, as you can see, 2 sentences, but they put a little bit more on results, findings. I think that should be the focus, because researchers, scientists looking for your findings basically. So this can be a focus. So major findings with some conclusions and some limitations might be also can be given here. So as you can see, what should be the structured content of this abstract? So there should have some information about the background, objectives, methods, results, and conclusions. So this will help you to write a good abstract. I hope this will be very much helpful for you. Now I'm moving to the main structure. So this is again I have taken from literature. Probably you heard already that the structure of a manuscript, it is called INTROP. So conclusions and abstracts are not included here because those are the minor content. Basically the major contents, as you can see, in terms of number of words also, or normally introduction, it can be 2 pages, single space, 4 pages, maybe double space. So that's why these are major content. And to me particularly, methods, results, and discussions are the major contents and components. So this is how the INTROP came. Probably you can remember, remind yourself. I stands for introduction, M stands for methods, R stands for results, A stands for okay. So I'm not going to talk much about this thing. So it's just for your information. So now I'm moving to the second important element is the introduction. Introduction basically will provide the context, the readers that clearly why your work is important, particularly the importance of this work. Okay, introduction section should contain a brief statement of the need. Again, you see that it's important. Need for the investigation. Why you need to write this paper. Importance, need, review up-to-date literature, and specific objectives. So up-to-date, latest, relevant literature are also important. This section should reflect that. This is very important thing. And specifically, I will put a little bit more time on this originality, uniqueness, novelty, how it differs from others' work. This is actually the major challenges now even we are also facing. We always start from the very beginning, what would be our novelty, what would be our originality, even though we start from the very beginning, but sometimes reviewer does not agree with our originality. They dig out literature and they found something that it is not that much novel yet, it is marginally. So again, it is very important aspect that need to be addressed in this component of a manuscript. So in the introduction and normally at the later part of the introduction, this section should not normally contain more than 4 types. Again, it depends on the journal, but in my view, if single space, not more than 2 pages, if double space, not more than 4 pages. You can limit yourself somewhat as well, but this is again to restrict yourself. Sometimes you write your paper too long. So this is again to restrict yourself and also to follow the guidelines, author's guideline of a specific journal as well. So this is again very structured way. So since I have experience, I put my own content as well along with the literature's content as well. So I feel this will help you to write a good introduction. As you can see, we need some information about the few sentences, maybe one paragraph about the background, motivations, why these works are important. Some background and motivational information should be provided. Objectives and scope. This is very important because this is your aim, goal, what you are going to address, what experiments you are going to do. So these are important things. Sometimes you have done your experiment, you have done everything, but you have not highlighted. So then it will be hard for the reviewers to check and verify what were the objectives and what were the achievements in terms of conclusion, in terms of result and discussion. So basically this make your work little bit mismatched. So it will be hard for reviewer to understand actually what was your plan and what you achieved. Same thing for your thesis as well. So you have to be very clear about the writing the objectives. So in some of the slides, I will show you how to write objectives in a clear-cut way. Problem statement novelty, as I mentioned in the earlier slides, latest relevant references, application. So I talked a little bit about the latest relevant references. So as you know, some of the universities or colleges or research organizations, they may not have databases. So sometimes they put only the book, maybe literatures of 1980, all those are obsolete. So this actually will be very difficult for you to publish in good quality journals. But nowadays, I think because of this internet, there are Science Hub, there are ResearchGate, there are many other ways you can collaborate. So you can get the literatures. I don't think it will be a major difficulties, problems to get the latest relevant references. So what do I mean by latest relevant? Latest is for last 5 years. So now we are in 2020. Even I think some papers already appear for 2021 as well. So always go through various databases, ScienceDirect, Elsevier, Springer, Nature. So you know a lot of databases there. So you can you can check through your library databases and explore all the databases and relevant also. Sometimes you put whatever you like, but reviewer will check and identify that it is not relevant. So this might be a question also to be get rejected or to give a major comments. And there should have some application. We are in the field of engineering and science. So in most cases, so without applications, normally it is hard for us to publish. At Sunway, we build very impressive labs, but we are facing little bit difficulties with the application. That was our second phase, but hopefully we'll build this thing. So these are the things, since we don't have much application, even though we have high-end equipment, but in most cases, reviewer, editors asking there are less applications. So we don't recommend it to be published these high-impact journals, particularly something like Energy Conversion Management, International Journal of Heat and Mass Transfer, Applied Energy. But so far we managed to publish in solar energy and solar energy materials and cell, some good high impact journals. So that's why application is important in some areas, particularly in our science and engineering. So sometimes I feel, based on my experience, so it is too long. That's why we put the page limitations there. Up to 4 pages can be double spaced. So don't write 8 pages. So again, reviewer will give you the comments. So this again, these are the rules of actually the collaborators, co-authors, supervisors. Unfortunately, sometimes we are supervisors, but we don't check our students' papers, our collaborators' papers. So these are also, we senior people also need to check whether this has been done or not. So it is our responsibility is to help the young researcher as well. Sometimes it's too general, does not reflect content. Again, these are the things I'm giving you. You ask yourself, once you prepare the first draft, second draft, then you ask yourself, have I put the content that reflects the whole thing I have done, or there are missing elements? So I think it is your responsibility. You put yourself as you ask yourself, you pose a question that does the content reflects what I am going to do? Sometimes, as I mentioned, there is no objectives, and objectives are not clear, not achievable, not measurable. Of course, nobody taught you. So in that case, you are inside the ocean. So that's why when when any new student comes, so I ask them, you have to write the 3 objectives or 4 objectives. So I give them first objective because this is the boundary. Otherwise, students will be inside the ocean. So he or she might get lost. So this is how I control. So then once the objectives are set, then students can go one by one in achieving the objectives. sometimes not focused, novelty is not highlighted, latest relevant literatures are not provided, as I mentioned in the earlier slides.